One of the things that's been most amazing about the Occupy movement is just seeing how many voices there are out there that want a chance to be heard. Part of what makes a social movement, in my opinion, more than just a few protests or a few angry people or isolated events, is those amorphous cultural forms that emerge through and within all of those isolated events and experiences. My name is Goldstein, and currently I teach a class called Protest and Revolution at Brooklyn College. Once the occupation of Zuccotti Park happened, some people decided they wanted to make an occupied version of the Wall Street Journal. They raised money for 4 issues. One of the issues was going to be all images, all posters. And that was the first Occuprint project. And so from there, we set up a website after the issue got published to sort of, as a place to put the images we weren't able to put into the actual print edition. What ended up happening is people started just sending us images, and we started getting people from across the country just sending in their poster images, and we started posting them. And so all of a sudden, we became an archive. All of a sudden, we started having this growing collection of Occupy Wall Street related imagery. What I see happening with the imagery coming through Occuprint is this outpouring of people who want to participate in a social movement through cultural forms. In a lot of ways, when I think about the singularity of imagery that Occuprint creates, it's less an individual image that stands out as the image, and it's more this like scrolling through a gallery of endless images, and you almost don't even have to focus on any of them, but just the sheer knowledge that they're all there feels good, right? Like just knowing that you can keep scrolling and keep scrolling, it's just not gonna end. The posters that are being printed here are all going to be part of a portfolio that we're making. And so one of the things we decided to do, in part to enable this moment to have a life in sort of cultural institutions, and in part as a fundraising device, to be honest, we decided to make a print portfolio of 30 images from the website. We, as Occuprint and the artists involved, feel pretty strongly that it's not okay to just do one or the other, and we really like trying to work between the digital and the analog. And so while we love getting this huge collection of images on the web, it's really important to us to pull some of those out into the world and to sort of build those connections, right? So that it's not just images on the internet, it's not just images on the street, but that the two can sort of speak to one another and magnify each other.
I've been an artist my whole life and an activist my whole life. The two really mingle well for me. The content of much of my art has been human rights, social justice issues for forever. So the transition into making art for Occupy Wall Street was pretty seamless in that it's pretty much the same concerns that I was dealing with in my art for many years.
This is my first time doing anything with screen printing. I've never really done any sort of fine or visual arts before, so it's really cool to be able to be involved in a process like this, especially connecting it to something like Occupy Wall Street, which is something very prevalent right now.
One of the things I'll say that has been really pleasantly surprising is just how different the social movement art that we're seeing in the Occuprint collection looks from the last 10, 20, 30 years of social movement art. There's something lighter, there's something airy, there's something hopeful, I would say. It's less focused on just sort of depicting the violent sort of enemy, and it's more focused on asserting a sense of empowerment, of self-empowerment, of collective empowerment. I don't think we need more people thinking about revolutions in the way that revolutions have been thought about for the last 100 years. I don't think we need more people thinking about protest in the way that protest has been thought about for the last 100 years. I don't want to throw that history away, but I want to go somewhere else with it. And I want to build it and see new and exciting things happen with these histories.